The moment I realized my sister had stolen my winning lottery ticket, I was sitting on my worn-out couch, scrolling through Instagram. There she was, Bianca, draped in designer clothes, holding up my ticket with the caption, "Sometimes good things happen to good people. Blessed Utker lottery winner." My name is Tiffany, and until yesterday, I was just another overworked accountant trying to make ends meet. Now, I'm watching my sister steal my future right before my eyes. "Oh my God," I whispered, my phone slipping from my trembling hands. The memories of yesterday flooded back, checking the numbers 3 times, screaming with joy in my tiny apartment, carefully placing the ticket in my purse. The same purse Bianca had accidentally spilled her coffee on during our weekly family dinner. My phone buzzed. A message from my best friend Destiny. "Girl, did you see Bianca's post? Since when does she play the lottery?" I couldn't even type a response. The comments were pouring in under Bianca's post. "OMG Queen, you deserve this. Living your best life. So happy for you, B." The doorbell rang, making me jump. Through the peephole, I saw my mother's perfectly coiffed hair. "Tiffany, open up. We need to celebrate your sister's amazing news." She practically sang the words. I opened the door, my stomach in knots. "Mom, that ticket?" "I know. Isn't it wonderful?" She breezed past me, her expensive perfume filling my small living room. "Bianca just called me. $20 million, can you believe it? Finally, someone in this family is going to make something of themselves." The casual cruelty of her words hit like a slap. "Mom, that ticket is mine. I bought it, I won." She froze, then laughed. "Oh, honey, don't be ridiculous. Bianca showed me the security footage from the store where she bought it." "What? That's impossible." My phone buzzed again. This time it was Bianca. "Thanks for the coffee spill distraction yesterday, sis. Karma's finally paying me back for all those years I had to look out for you." "Look at that. She's even thanking you." Mom peered at my phone. Such a thoughtful girl. I felt sick. "Get out." "Excuse me?" "Get out." My voice was shaking. "Both of you have been gaslighting me my entire life, and I'm done." Mom's face hardened. "This jealousy isn't attractive, Tiffany. I raised you better than this." "No, you raised Bianca better than this. You just tolerated me." The sharp intake of breath told me I'd hit a nerve. Mom gathered her designer purse and headed for the door. "When you're ready to apologize and celebrate your sister's good fortune properly, you know where to find us." The door clicked shut behind her. I sank to the floor, my mind racing. Bianca had always been manipulative. But this was next level. She must have followed me yesterday, seen me buy the ticket. The coffee spill wasn't an accident, it was calculated, just like everything else she did. My phone rang. Jonathan, my old friend from law school who'd stuck around even after I dropped out to support our family. "Tiff, I just saw Bianca's post. Please tell me this isn't what I think it is." "She stole my ticket, John. She actually stole my winning lottery ticket." There was a long pause. "Do you have any proof of purchase?" "No, I paid cash. I always do for lottery tickets. It's my stupid superstition." "Security footage?" "Bianca's apparently handled that already. God knows how." Another pause. "Come to my office. Now." "Why?" "There's nothing—" "Because I know you, Tiff. You're smarter than her. Always have been. And right now, you need to start thinking like a lawyer, not a victim." Something in his tone made me sit up straighter. "What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting that your sister just made a very public mistake. She's going to flaunt this money, document everything on social media, create a paper trail. And you're going to let her." I wiped my eyes. A plan already forming. "You want me to give her enough rope to hang herself?" "Exactly. Get over here. We're going to make sure karma hits your sister so hard she'll think she won the unlucky lottery." For the first time since seeing that Instagram post, I smiled. Bianca might have won this round, but she'd forgotten one crucial detail about me. I always played the long game. I grabbed my keys and headed out. It was time to show my sister that some people are smart enough to get revenge served at exactly the right temperature. Jonathan's office was a stark contrast to my apartment. all gleaming glass and polished wood. He was already pulling up social media feeds when I walked in. "Your sister's been busy," he said, turning his monitor toward me. 3 Instagram posts, 2 TikToks, and a Facebook Live video, all in the last 2 hours. I dropped into the leather chair across from his desk. "She's always been an attention seeker." "No, she's being sloppy." Jonathan leaned forward. "Look at this caption. Sometimes the universe puts opportunities right in front of you and you just have to grab them." "Subtle," I muttered. "Exactly. She's practically confessing." He started typing. "First things first. We need to document everything. Every post, every comment, every interaction." My phone buzzed. Dad this time. "Hey, sweetheart." His voice was gentle but weak, just like always. "Your mother told me about your reaction to Bianca's news." "Dad, she stole—" "Now, Tiffany, let's not throw around accusations. You know your sister's always been lucky." I gripped the phone tighter. "Lucky? Is that what we're calling theft now?" "Your mother and I raised you both to support each other. Bianca's always looked out for you. By stealing my college fund? By sabotaging my job interviews? By stealing my lottery ticket?" Jonathan caught my eye and shook his head, mouthing, "Don't tip her off." I took a deep breath. "You know what, Dad? You're right. I'm just surprised. Tell Bianca I'm happy for her." The relief in his voice was palpable. "That's my girl. We're having a celebration dinner tonight. You'll come?" "Wouldn't miss it." I hung up and looked at Jonathan. "Please tell me you have a plan." He smiled. "Better. I have 3 plans. But first you need to convince everyone you've accepted this." "Play nice? That's your big strategy?" "No, my strategy is to let Bianca think she's won. People get careless when they're winning." He pulled up another window. "She's hired a social media manager named Skylar, fresh out of college, eager to prove herself." "And?" "And you're going to become Skylar's new best friend." The celebration dinner was exactly what I expected, Bianca holding court while our parents beamed. I played my part perfectly, smiling and nodding as she detailed her plans for the money. "I'm thinking a mansion in Beverly Hills," she gushed, "with a pool shaped like a bee." "That's amazing," I said, forcing enthusiasm into my voice. "You should document everything on social media. Your followers would love that." Bianca's eyes lit up. "They would, wouldn't they?" "Skylar, make a note." The young woman beside her nodded, fingers flying over her phone. I caught her eye and smiled warmly. "You must be so busy managing all this," I said. "Want to grab a coffee sometime? I'd love to hear about your work." "Really?" Skylar looked surprised and pleased. "That would be great." "Tiffany's great with numbers," Bianca interrupted, a hint of warning in her voice. "Maybe she could help you manage my accounts." I kept my face neutral. "Only if you need it, of course. Actually," Skylar brightened, "I could use help with the budget tracking. Would you mind?" "Of course not. Anything for my sister." Mom beamed. "See, Bianca? I told you Tiffany would come around." Later that night, back at Jonathan's office, I recounted the dinner. "Perfect," he said. "Skylar's your way in. But we need more than just access to her accounts. We need proof you bought that ticket." "I told you I paid cash." "Yes, but you checked the numbers online, right? From your phone or computer?" I sat up straighter. "My laptop. I was at home." "Which means there's a digital timestamp of you checking those exact numbers." He started typing again. "We're going to build this case piece by piece. Browser history, security footage from nearby stores showing you in the area, witness statements from the bodega owner." "Will that be enough?" "Combined with Bianca's social media trail and the inevitable paper trail she'll leave spending the money, it'll be more than enough." He paused. "But you have to be patient. Let her dig herself deeper." I nodded, thinking of Bianca's smug face at dinner. "I can be patient. I've been dealing with her manipulation my whole life. What's a few more months?" "Good." Jonathan handed me a legal pad. "Now, Let's go through every interaction you've had with her in the past week. Every detail matters. As I began recounting the events, a strange calm settled over me. For the first time in my life, I wasn't just reacting to Bianca's schemes, I was going to beat her at her own game. And thanks to her social media addiction, she was going to help me do it. I can't believe she bought another Birkin bag. Skylar sighed, sliding into the coffee shop booth across from me. That's the third one this week. Over the past month, I'd become Skylar's unofficial therapist. Today's session was taking place at our usual spot, away from Bianca's usual haunts. How much has she spent so far? I asked, stirring my latte. Almost $2 million. Skylar lowered her voice. And that's just on shopping. The parties are getting crazy. Last night she had a champagne fountain installed in her hotel suite. I raised my eyebrows. Hotel suite? She says she's waiting for the perfect mansion. Meanwhile, she's burning through cash like... Skylar trailed off, looking guilty. Sorry, I shouldn't be telling you all this. Hey, I'm just glad she has someone responsible looking after her finances. My phone buzzed. A text from Destiny. You sure about this plan? Feels risky. I ignored it. Destiny had been worried since I'd told her what we were doing, but she hadn't grown up with Bianca. She didn't understand what was at stake. Speaking of finances, Skylar fidgeted with her cup. Something weird happened yesterday. I kept my expression neutral. Oh? Bianca was pretty drunk at this party, and she started talking about the lottery ticket. But her story kept changing. First, she said she bought it at Pete's Convenience on 5th, then it was that place near the park. Maybe she was just confused? Maybe. Skylar bit her lip. But then she said something about how you'd never prove anything without cameras. My heart raced, but I forced a laugh. That's just drunk talk. You know how she gets. Yeah, but... Skylar's phone chimed. Ugh, she wants me to come over. Something about planning a yacht party. Go, I smiled. Text me later? As soon as she left, I called Jonathan. She's starting to slip, I said without preamble. Getting drunk, talking about the ticket. Perfect. Is your phone set up to record? Yes, but... No buts. The next party she throws, you need to be there. The opportunity came sooner than expected. That weekend, Bianca hosted a casual gathering at her hotel penthouse. Casual meaning only 50 people instead of her usual 100. I arrived early, playing the supportive sister role. Need any help setting up? Bianca was already 3 glasses of champagne in. My baby sister, always so helpful. She draped an arm around me. Remember when we were kids and you'd always let me copy your homework? You mean when you'd take it without asking? She laughed, too loud. Same difference, just like this lottery thing, right? The universe knows I deserve nice things more than you do. My phone was recording in my pocket. I kept my voice light. What do you mean? Oh, come on. She rolled her eyes, grabbing another champagne bottle. We both know you'd have wasted that money on something boring like investments. She snorted. At least I know how to live. So you admit it wasn't your ticket? For a second, something sharp flashed in her eyes. Then she laughed again. You're so funny, sis. Always with the jokes. More guests started arriving, and Bianca drank more. And more. By midnight, she was holding court by the window, regaling everyone with stories. And then, she could barely stand straight. Then I saw her checking the numbers, and I thought, why should she get all the luck? I'm the pretty one. Several people laughed nervously. Skylar, standing nearby, looked uncomfortable. Bianca, I said softly, maybe we should get you some water. Don't patronize me. She whirled around, nearly falling. You think I don't know what you're doing? Playing nice, helping Skylar, being the perfect sister? She stumbled closer. But guess what? No one will ever believe you. I made sure of that. The room had gone quiet. My phone was still recording. What did you make sure of? I asked, keeping my voice steady. The cameras. She laughed wildly. Paid that sweet old security guard to lose the footage from that day. Can't prove what you can't see, right? Skylar gasped. Several guests started edging toward the door. I think that's enough partying for tonight, I said loudly. Everyone, thank you for coming. As people filed out, Bianca collapsed onto a sofa, already passing out. Skylar lingered, looking troubled. Tiffany, she started. It's okay, I said. She probably won't even remember this tomorrow. But I would, and more importantly, my phone had recorded every word. Later that night, I sent the audio to Jonathan. His response came immediately. This is exactly what we needed. Time for phase 2. I looked at my sleeping sister, sprawled across the designer sofa she'd bought with my money. Soon, very soon, she'd learn that karma doesn't care how pretty you are. The lottery commission is getting suspicious, Jonathan announced, spreading documents across his desk. 3 different people have called asking about irregularities with the ticket claim. I leaned forward. What kind of irregularities? Apparently, Bianca's story keeps changing. First, she said she bought the ticket at 2 p.m., then 4 p.m., then evening. She can't keep her lies straight. My phone lit up with a notification. Another Instagram post from Bianca, this time showing off her new sports car. Look at the comments. Jonathan pointed. People were starting to ask questions. Weird how you never showed the actual moment you bought the ticket. Didn't you say you bought it on 5th Street last week? Now it's Madison Ave? She's deleting them as fast as she can, I said. But Skylar showed me her admin panel. There are hundreds. Jonathan smiled. Time to add fuel to the fire. Remember that bodega owner I mentioned? The one near my apartment? He remembers you buying tickets every Friday. Same time, same numbers. He signed an affidavit this morning. My hands shook slightly. Will that be enough? Combined with everything else? It's a start, but we need Skylar on our side. As if on cue, my phone rang. Skylar's name flashed on the screen. Tiffany? She sounded panicked. Something's wrong. The lottery commission called again, and Bianca completely lost it. She's threatening to fire me if I don't delete all the questioning comments. Where are you? Outside her hotel. I can't keep doing this. The numbers don't add up, her stories keep changing, and after what she said at the party, meet me at the Blue Cup in 15 minutes. Jonathan raised an eyebrow as I grabbed my coat. Be careful. Always am. Skylar was already at the cafe when I arrived, fidgeting with a napkin. I found something, she blurted before I could sit down. In her phone. What do you mean? She pulled out her tablet. Part of my job is backing up her photos. I found these from the day she claimed the ticket. My heart stopped. There, in crystal clear detail, were photos of Bianca following me into the bodega. Another showed her watching me check the ticket through my apartment window. She was stalking you, Skylar whispered. And there's more. Text messages to some security guard about deleting footage, messages to your mom about keeping you quiet. Skylar, I said carefully, I need to tell you something. I laid it all out. The truth about the ticket, Jonathan's plan, everything. By the end, she was pale but determined. I knew something was wrong, she said. The way she treats you, the inconsistencies. What do you need me to do? Keep documenting everything, and whatever you do, don't let her know you're helping me. Back at Jonathan's office, we reviewed Skylar's evidence. This is better than we hoped, he said, but timing is crucial. Too soon and she might find a way to spin it. Too late. And she might spend all my money, I finished. Exactly. We need one more piece, something public, something she can't deny. My phone buzzed. Mom. Family dinner tonight. Bianca's making a big announcement. I showed Jonathan the text. He grinned. Perfect. Wear that necklace I gave you. The one with the hidden microphone? Bianca's drunk confessions were good, but we need her sober. And nothing makes her slip up like family dinner. That evening, I arrived at my parents' house to find Bianca holding court in the living room. There she is, Bianca exclaimed. My favorite sister. Your only sister, I reminded her with a smile. Whatever. Guess what? I'm buying Mom and Dad a house. Mom clapped her hands. Isn't she generous? So generous, I agreed. Just like when we were kids, right, Bianca? Always taking what you wanted? Her smile flickered. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Just remembering how you used to take my homework, my clothes, my boyfriends. I paused. My lottery ticket. Tiffany, Dad warned. But Bianca was already rising to the bait. You still can't let that go, can you? You're just jealous because I was smart enough to take what I wanted. The room went silent. Mom's fork clattered against her plate. What did you just say? Dad asked quietly. Bianca's face went white as she realized what she'd admitted. I didn't. I touched the necklace gently, making sure it was still recording. No, please, go on. Tell us exactly how smart you were. As Bianca stammered excuses, I caught a glimpse of my mother's face. Shocked, confused, and finally understanding dawning in her eyes. The trap was set. Now all we had to do was spring it. The silence at the dinner table was deafening. Mom's hands trembled as she set down her wineglass. Bianca, what exactly are you saying? Nothing. I'm not saying anything. Bianca's voice had that shrill edge I remembered from childhood, the one that appeared whenever she was caught in a lie. Tiffany's trying to twist my words. No one's twisting anything, I said calmly, touching my necklace again. You just said you were smart enough to take what you wanted. That's not what I meant. Dad cleared his throat. Then what did you mean, Princess? Bianca's mascara was starting to run. You're all ganging up on me, after everything I've offered to do for this family. With my money, I added softly. Prove it. She slammed her hands on the table. You can't prove anything. My phone buzzed. A text from Skylar. Check Instagram. Now. I pulled up the app. Someone had posted a video from Bianca's party, the one where she drunkenly bragged about paying off the security guard. The comments were exploding. OMG, did she just admit to stealing the ticket? This is wild. A lottery commission needs to see this. I knew something was off about her story. Bianca's phone must have buzzed too, because her face went from red to ghost white in seconds. Who? She whispered, staring at her screen. Who posted this? Posted what? Mom grabbed her own phone. Her gasp was audible. Bianca Marie, tell me this isn't true. It's not. I mean, I was drunk. People say stupid things when they're drunk. Like the truth? I suggested. Bianca lunged for her phone, frantically typing. Skylar, delete this now. Skylar! She can't, I said. It's already been shared thousands of times. You! Bianca's eyes narrowed. You planned this. You and that little social media rat. Dad stood up slowly. Bianca, did you steal your sister's lottery ticket? Daddy, please, answer the question. For the first time in my life, I saw real fear in Bianca's eyes. I deserved it more. Tiffany would have wasted it on stupid things like charity and investments. I know how to make people happy. Mom started crying. How could you do this? How could I? Bianca laughed hysterically. The same way I've done everything else. The same way you've let me do everything else. Take Tiffany's college fund? Oh, Bianca needs it more. Ruin her job interviews? Well, she shouldn't compete with her sister. This is what you created. The truth hung in the air like poison gas. My parents looked stunned, as if seeing their golden child clearly for the first time. My phone buzzed again. Jonathan. Lottery Commission wants a meeting. Tomorrow morning. You know what the funny thing is? I stood up, gathering my purse. I would have shared it with you. If you just asked, I would have helped you start your business, buy a house, everything you wanted. But you had to take it all. Where are you going? Mom reached for me. We need to fix this. Fix what? The fact that you enabled her for 30 years? Or the fact that she committed fraud? Fraud? Bianca's voice cracked. What do you mean, fraud? I mean, the Lottery Commission has opened an investigation. They're meeting with my lawyer tomorrow morning. I headed for the door. Oh, and Bianca? You might want to stop spending money that isn't yours. I hear fraud charges get worse when the stolen money's gone. You can't do this to me. She scrambled after me. I'm your sister. I turned back one last time. You're right. You are my sister. And you're about to learn what that should have meant all along. As I walked to my car, I could hear Bianca's screams and Mom's sobs. Dad came running after me. Tiffany, wait! I paused, hand on my car door. I'm sorry, he said quietly. We should have seen it. Should have stopped it. Yes, you should have. What happens now? I looked back at the house where Bianca was having a full meltdown in the doorway. Now? Now she faces consequences. For once in her life. And us? That depends on what you do next. I got into my car. But I'd start by not buying that house she promised you. Something tells me she won't be able to afford it. As I drove away, my phone lit up with notifications. The video was going viral. Skylar had done her job perfectly. The truth was out there, and no amount of deletion could stop it now. Tomorrow would bring lawyers and investigations, but tonight I finally felt free. The Lottery Commission's office was all fluorescent lights and bureaucratic beige. Jonathan sat beside me, laying out documents while 3 commissioners studied them intently. So you have the bodega owner's statement? The head commissioner said. The phone recordings, social media posts, and now these photos from Ms. Powell? Yes, Jonathan replied. Plus the security footage from surrounding businesses showing my client entering the store and purchasing the ticket. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since morning. Bianca's meltdown video had reached millions of views. Lotterygate was trending. Miss? The commissioner looked at me. Why did you wait so long to come forward? Before I could answer, the door burst open. Bianca stormed in, followed by a harried-looking man in an expensive suit. This meeting is private. Jonathan stood up. Like hell it is. Bianca's makeup was smeared, her designer outfit wrinkled. You can't just steal my money. Your money? I laughed. That's rich even for you. My client, her lawyer interrupted, would like to propose a settlement. Jonathan smiled coldly. We're not interested in settlements. We're interested in justice. 50-50 split, Bianca blurted. Come on, Tiff, we're sisters. The commissioners watched this exchange like a tennis match. Sisters? I stood up. Let's talk about being sisters. Show them the footage, Jonathan. He pulled up a video on his tablet, security footage from a cafe across from my apartment. There was Bianca, clearly following me, watching through my window as I checked the lottery numbers. That proves nothing, she shrieked. Maybe not, I agreed. But this does. I played the recording from last night's dinner. Bianca's voice filled the room. I deserved it more. Her lawyer winced. Furthermore, Jonathan added, we have evidence of attempted bribery of a security guard, witness tampering, and fraudulent documentation submitted to this commission. Bianca's face crumpled. Daddy will fix this. He always fixes everything. Not this time. I showed her my phone. He and Mom are cooperating with the investigation. They've provided statements about your confession. They wouldn't dare. Check your messages. She grabbed her phone, scrolling frantically. Her face went from angry to desperate as she read. This isn't fair, she whispered. Everything was perfect. Ms. Norris, the head commissioner addressed Bianca. Based on the evidence presented, we're freezing all lottery payments pending investigation. Additionally, we'll be referring this case to the district attorney's office. You can't do that. I've already spent... How much? I interrupted. How much of my money did you burn through? Her lawyer touched her arm. Don't answer that. Almost all of it, she said anyway. The cars, the clothes, the parties. The room went silent. Millions of dollars gone in a month. Well, Jonathan smiled. That's going to make the fraud charges interesting. Bianca's lawyer pulled her toward the door. We need to discuss your options. Now. Wait. She turned back to me. Tiffany, please, you can stop this. Tell them you changed your mind. I looked at my sister. Really looked at her. The designer clothes couldn't hide her desperation now. "You know what's funny?" I said quietly. "All those years, I thought something was wrong with me. Why didn't my parents love me like they loved you? Why wasn't I good enough? But now I realize they did me a favor. They made me strong, independent, everything you're not." "I hate you," she spat. "No, you hate that you can't control me anymore." The commissioners cleared their throats. "If we're done with the family drama, we have some paperwork to process." As Bianca was led away by her lawyer, my phone buzzed one last time. A text from Skylar. "Check Twitter, now." The video from last night's dinner had gone viral. But it wasn't just the confession. Someone had compiled years of social media posts showing Bianca's pattern of taking what she wanted. Consequences be damned. "Your sister's going to need a very good lawyer," Jonathan commented. "She's not my sister anymore," I replied. "She's just someone who taught me a very expensive lesson about family." The head commissioner handed me a stack of forms. "Fill these out. Once verified, we can begin the process of rightful payment." As I started signing, I caught my reflection in the window. For the first time in years, I looked peaceful, strong. Bianca had always said karma wasn't real. I smiled, thinking of her face when the commissioners mentioned the DA's office. Karma might not be real, but justice? Justice was just getting started. The courthouse steps were crowded with reporters. 3 months had passed since the lottery commission meeting, and today was Bianca's sentencing hearing. "Miss, any comment on your sister's plea deal?" A microphone thrust in my face. Jonathan steered me through the crowd. "My client has no comment at this time." Inside, the courtroom was packed. Mom and Dad sat in the back row, looking smaller somehow. They'd aged years in the past months, especially after the investigation revealed they'd unknowingly aided Bianca's schemes over the years. Destiny squeezed my hand as we sat down. "You okay?" Before I could answer, the bailiff called out, "All rise." Bianca was led in wearing an orange jumpsuit instead of her usual designer clothes. Her hair was flat, her face bare of makeup. She wouldn't look at me. "Before we proceed with sentencing," the judge began, "would the defendant like to make a statement?" Bianca's lawyer nudged her. She stood slowly, hands shaking as she held a piece of paper. Her voice cracked. "I've had time to think in jail. About what I did. About who I am." She turned to face me. "I always thought I was protecting you, Tiffany. That's what Mom and Dad told me. Look after your little sister. But somewhere along the way, I started thinking that meant I owned you." The courtroom was silent. "I took your college fund because I convinced myself you didn't really want to go to law school. I sabotaged your job interviews because I couldn't stand the idea of you being more successful than me. And when I saw you buy that ticket," she wiped her eyes, "I watched you check the numbers, saw your face light up, and all I could think was, why her?" Mom was crying softly in the back. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," Bianca continued. "I don't deserve it, but I am sorry. Not just for the ticket, but for everything. For being the worst kind of sister." The judge cleared his throat. Given the defendant's cooperation and guilty plea, this court sentences Bianca to 18 months in federal prison, followed by 5 years probation. Additionally, she is ordered to make full restitution of all spent funds. The gavel struck. Bianca's shoulders slumped. As the bailiff let her out, she paused by my row. "The worst part?" she whispered. "You were right. If I'd just asked, you would have shared it." Then she was gone. Outside, Mom and Dad approached hesitantly. "Tiffany," Mom started, "we've been seeing a therapist, trying to understand how we failed, both of you." "We enabled her," Dad added. "Made excuses. We thought we were showing love, but we were just creating a monster. And destroying you in the process," Mom whispered. I looked at these broken people who'd shaped my childhood. "I'm not angry anymore," I realized. "I'm just done." "Will we—" Mom's voice shook. "Will we ever be a family again?" "I don't know. That depends on whether you're ready to see me as I am, not as Bianca's shadow. Jonathan appeared at my elbow. The press wants statements. Ready? I nodded, then turned back to my parents. I'm starting a foundation for siblings of narcissists, victims of financial abuse. You're welcome to get involved, but only if you're ready to acknowledge your part in all this. They nodded tearfully. The press conference was brief. I announced the foundation, spoke about family healing, and declined to comment on Bianca's sentence. But as I was leaving, one reporter called out, "What are you going to do with the remaining lottery money?" I smiled. Live my life. The right way. Later that evening, I sat with Destiny, Jonathan, and Skylar at our favorite bar. To justice, Jonathan raised his glass. To karma, Skylar added. To freedom, I said quietly. Destiny hugged me. You know what the best revenge is? Living well. My phone buzzed. A text from the prison. Bianca, I know you'll probably never read these, but I'm going to write anyway. Every day. Until maybe one day you'll understand how sorry I am. I showed it to Jonathan. Think she means it? He shrugged. People can change. The question is, do you want to be around to see if she does? I thought about the little girl who once idolized her big sister, about the woman who finally stood up for herself, about the person I was becoming. I don't know, I answered honestly. But for the first time in my life, that decision is completely mine. Skylar raised her glass again. To choices. As we clinked glasses, I felt something I hadn't experienced in years. Peace. Not because of the money or even the justice served, but because finally, after all these years, I was free from Bianca's shadow. And that was worth more than any lottery ticket. The foundation's opening ceremony buzzed with energy. Cameras flashed as I cut the ribbon across the entrance of our new building, the Phoenix Center for Family Healing. And what inspired the name? A reporter asked. Sometimes you have to burn everything down to rise again, I answered, catching sight of Mom and Dad in the crowd. They'd been attending therapy religiously, learning to recognize their enabling behaviors. Inside, during the reception, Destiny nudged me. Look who's here. Skylar walked in, followed by a familiar figure in prison sweats, accompanied by a guard. My heart stopped. She got permission for a 4-hour release, Skylar explained quickly. To see what her actions helped create, Bianca looked different, smaller somehow. The prison uniform hung loose on her frame, and her face was free of its usual mask of makeup and superiority. This is amazing, Tiff, she said softly, gesturing at the center. All these people you're going to help. Want to see something? I led her to a wall of photos, survivors sharing their stories. Read that one. She stepped closer to a particular story. My sister took everything from me, but in losing it all, I found myself. That's our story, she whispered. One of many. Turns out we're not as unique as we thought. Jonathan appeared with a stack of papers. The last of the restitution paperwork. Once you're released, you'll start making payments. Bianca nodded. I've been taking business classes in prison, learning to do things the right way this time. Good, I said simply. I read all your letters, I added after a moment. Every single one. Her head snapped up. You never responded. I wasn't ready, but I read them. A commotion near the entrance drew our attention. Dad was having an intense conversation with Mom, who was dabbing at her eyes. They're trying, Bianca observed. Really trying. Yeah, they are. Do you think? She hesitated. Do you think we'll ever be okay? I looked around the center, at the people sharing stories, finding strength in their shared experiences. At my parents, learning to love without enabling. At Bianca, finally facing her own demons. I think we'll be different, I replied. Better maybe, but never the same. I can live with different, she said quietly. The guard signaled it was time to go. Bianca turned to leave, then stopped. That lottery ticket, it wasn't really about the money, was it? No, I smiled sadly. It was about power, control, the same things it was always about. And now? Now I have something better than money or power. I have peace. After she left, Destiny found me staring at the wall of stories. You okay? You know what's weird? I gestured at the photos. Every person here has a similar story. Family who took and took until there was nothing left. But look at them now. Strong, she agreed. Like you. Jonathan joined us, champagne in hand. To the Phoenix Center's first day. And many more, added Skylar, who'd become our social media director. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. We're heading out, too emotional, but we're proud of you. Both of you. I showed it to Destiny. Baby steps. Speaking of steps, Jonathan grinned. Wait until they hear about the satellite centers we're planning. One battle at a time. I laughed. Today we celebrate this victory. Looking around at my chosen family, Jonathan with his legal brilliance, Destiny with her unwavering support, Skylar with her tech-savvy loyalty, I felt something click into place. The money hadn't made me whole. The revenge hadn't healed me. What had transformed me was finally standing up and saying enough, finding my voice, my strength. A young woman approached me, clutching a registration form. Is it really free? The counseling? Everything's free, I assured her. That's what the foundation is for. My sister, she started crying. She took everything. I hugged her gently. Then this is exactly where you need to be. As I helped her fill out the form, I caught my reflection in the window. I barely recognized the confident woman staring back at me. She looked nothing like the scared girl who'd bought a lottery ticket hoping to escape her sister's shadow. That ticket had changed everything, just not in the way I'd expected. Instead of buying freedom, it had forced me to fight for it, to earn it. And looking at all these survivors, these phoenixes rising from their own ashes, I knew I'd spent the money exactly right. Some things, after all, are worth more than gold.